right, you guys, welcome back again this week to Love Frequency Podcast, where we turn pain into power and we transmute that energy into something for the greater good of mankind. This week, I want to talk about relationships. And if you guys don't mind, I want to talk about the LGBT community. I am a part of that, so please don't get offended anyone, whether you're straight or whatever the case may be. But part of it is the topic this week related to that. It may be more so geared towards the masculine people. So whether that be a man or the studs out there. But this is for you because I got a question today from a young man. And his question was, how do I date in this economy right now? How do I pick someone that's for me, that's not always about for the money? I guess he's like, I guess for your money or what you could do for them. He's very young, in his 20s. So he asked me that question. Yes, times I would say have changed with the dating scene, but I feel like the game is still the same. When you have masculine and feminine energy, you have one that is expected based on society. This is your role you need to play, as well as the femininity. This is your role that you need to play. And I think that is what's messing some people up. This may not apply to everybody, but roles and dynamics could be messing certain people up in the dating community because it's not always about what someone can do for you. To me, this is a spiritual channel. It's about who can align with you. So if you have that feminine, we all have feminine and masculine energy. It's just one may come out more than the other. I think spiritually, my advice to him and to anyone, write down your expectations of what you're looking for in a relationship, especially if you're young. This gives you time enough to build up to that person who you want to be. I always tell people this: if you are wanting a certain type of person, whether that's a man or a woman, you need to become that person. And it's not saying you need to become that person to fake it. It's saying that become that person, become a good person, travel, be yourself, be authentic, learn who you are as an individual so that when you do go out there on a dating scene, you know exactly what you're looking for. You respect your boundaries because you already know what they are, because you have self-love, and then you're able to identify and attract certain people that you need, that's for you. And it's funny because when you start to write down what you want, you become that person. Not saying you're faking to become that person, but you become that person and you won't take it personal. You could go out on dates. That's the purpose of dating, to date as many people so you can find who that person is in alignment for you. Some people may get their feelings hurt, but dust yourself off and try again. If you are looking to find a wife or a husband, this message will resonate differently to some people, depending on how you take it. But if you're a feminine person looking for someone masculine, write down your boundaries, what you're looking for, and stick to that. The same goes for the masculinity. Write down your boundaries for what you're looking for. What I seem to find, what people may do, they will find anything. So they may meet someone and y'all get along, y'all mesh, but not realizing spiritually, is this person aligned with me? Just because somebody like you, just because y'all hit it off good, give that relationship time enough to elevate you and to see if this is somebody that I want to be with long term, if you're looking to get married. So that is what I'm running into, seeing people, they just jump into any old relationship for the sake of not being alone. They don't know themselves well enough. Then when the dust settles in that relationship, they find that that relationship or that person is not aligned with them, or someone that they really don't want to be with long term. I have asked so many people that's in their current relationship or about their past relationships this question here: did you see yourself marrying this person? 10 times out of 10, most of them said no. Y'all tell me why y'all think that is. So you're telling me the person that you were with for 4 or 5 years, maybe 10, maybe a few years, whatever, you didn't see yourself marrying them, but yet you wanted to get married. You want a serious relationship. Why are you with that person? Why did you drag that relationship on that long? Because most of the times people don't know themselves. It probably was a rebound relationship. and they didn't want to be alone. That is why it's very important to love yourself. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to date as many people as you need to date, so that when you do meet people, you're not just anxious to just get into anything for the sake of, I have a relationship. So what? Date that person or just be single. And when I say date people, I'm not saying sleep with them. I'm saying get to know people for who they are. When you get to know people, you eliminate certain things. If you date them for 30 days or whatever, you could see, I don't think this person's going to be for me long term. Cool, no problem. You're able to move on versus invest in 2 years. Now you feel like you got to commit to this person, because some of y'all are very loyal people. And once you see someone, you feel like you got to stick it through and stick it out. And that's how I think certain people end up in these long relationships. 2 weeks ago, I talked about Janae Aiko and Big Sean. She wanted to get married. He clearly told her he didn't want to get married. And yet she continued and accepted that. If you want marriage or you want a certain thing, let's say kids, why are you with someone who don't want kids 4 or 5 years, 10 years? And then you cry about it when it ends. We got to start taking accountability for the people that we attract, the people that we accept in our life. And we have to learn to accept that it's okay to be alone, or it's okay to date people. Now, I never was a firm believer a long time ago of dating multiple people. And I still to this day don't, because I just don't mesh well. When I say mesh well, I'm good with people, but as far as intimately, I'm not really feeling a lot of people anyway. As friends, cool. But as far as dating, I know what I want. So for me personally, it's too much energy to take on for me as a spiritual person. But I do not knock people who say I date multiple people at once. And that doesn't mean you hurt people, mislead people, or anything like that, or sleep with people. It just means that you're getting to know them to see what works and then keep it moving. Because I'd rather someone do that than to fake that I'm their person when really the person that they really wanted to be with is in something. So that's why they jumped into a rebound with me. Stop doing that and stop hurting people that way. If you know that you don't see this person long term, then you should really be talking to them, not committing to them in a relationship. Don't you think so? Trust me, it's a high percentage of people out there that's married or in a relationship with people that was their second or third choice. And some people don't want to believe that, but it is very true. And spiritual people, y'all can tell when someone isn't 100% for you. So that first thought that came to your mind, why didn't you listen to your gut on that? People tell you who they are. It's just some people ignore the red flags, so they continue on with that relationship anyway. Stop it. Now, the reason I brought the LGBT community into this topic is because when you mix two women into the equation, it kind of makes it, I don't want to use the word worse, but more complex. You have two women, regardless of what your sexuality is the highest percentage of divorce, meaning we more than likely are the ones to file for divorce. So when you add two women into that equation, you got emotions, you got power struggles, you got ego struggles, because two women, okay, who's supposed to be the masculine or who's supposed to be the feminine? Once again, going back to that topic, the whole masculine and feminine energy, instead of just more so intuitively saying, how are we aligned? How do we want to come together as a team to communicate, to move forward, to make this work, versus saying you're supposed to be the stud or the masculine, you're supposed to pay all the bills, or you're supposed to be the feminine, you're supposed to clean up and do all of this, when really we shouldn't be telling our partners what to do at all. We should be coming together as a collective and saying, how do we make this relationship work as a team? And I see that a lot more so in the LGBT community, where it's a high divorce rate with them. Most of them are in relationships that really they don't want to be in. They just, it's called the U-Haul. Like they just jump into something really fast. The last relationship didn't even end but a week ago, and already they in a relationship with somebody else. Once that 30 days passed, they realized, oh God, this person is somebody I don't want to be with. But because women are emotional and some of us try to be loyal, we want to stay in that relationship to see it out. So that's why I think some, especially lesbian relationships, stay in relationships way too long than what they need to. You got two of them, and then you got emotions, and, you know, mad yin and yang battles that's going on in that dynamic. And then once the dust settled, they realized, okay, I want to file for divorce. This isn't my person. When really we shouldn't be jumping in to move in with each other that soon. We should be getting to know each other and not forcing something like, yeah, this person is pretty, you're pretty too, but let's take our time and slow it down. And I think we will also get better results. And don't assume because that person is a masculine, you know, that they're supposed to be paying for everything. And that goes for heterosexual relationships too. So that's why I wanted to kind of blend it too today, but not blur the lines, because most of the topic is about masculine energy, whether it's men or women presenting as masculine. People are tired. Men are not required to, in this day and age, in this economy, I don't think so, to do everything. I think if you guys align and have that mentality as a team versus who should do what, I think it'll work. So I really think that aspect would work if it's more so coming in as we are a team versus the old school way of doing things, then, you know. But yes, rebound relationships, I don't think they work long term. I think I've seen some last 5 years. I've seen some long rebound relationships, but it lasted that long because some people don't want to be real with themselves about that relationship, and they try to make it work thinking things are going to change. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, stuff don't change. It may get worse. So that's probably why some of those relationships eventually end, and then you see them that long in a relationship. They want to get married, but you don't see them getting married because really behind the scenes, they're not that person. So I think that's the message. I think that may help a lot of people. Doesn't matter your sexuality, but really learning the masculine and feminine energy and stop looking at it from a standpoint of what somebody needs to do versus coming together, writing down your boundaries, writing down what you're looking for, and just attracting that person. Or when you dating people, you would see that they don't align with your boundaries, with what you wrote down, versus just jumping into something just because you think that person's attractive. Speaking of attractive, some of y'all pick these women and men based on how they look. Just because somebody looks good, once again, once the dust settles and it fades, can you see yourself marrying this person or being with them long term? If the answer is no, keep them as a friend, date them, and then move on to the next person versus, you know, committing to someone like that. And then now you're stuck committed in this relationship. And then you don't want to hurt their feelings and break it off with them. And keep in mind, you guys, what I've said a long time ago, silence is big. If you're in a relationship right now with someone and they're not communicating with you, they're going quiet, when does your intuition pick up? Maybe they're not that into you. They're not communicating no more. They're not being intimate with you no more. Because some people will do you so messed up to the point where they want you to make the move. They want you to break it off. I've seen that too, where some people are so afraid to tell you that they don't want to be with you no more. They made a mistake. You know, you was a rebound, that they'll do crazy stuff, abuse you, talk to you crazy, so you can make the first move to leave them. Because they're not man enough or woman enough to just tell you, I don't want to be with you. But I feel like it's more so on the feminine, like women's side. I think a lot of us women do that more than men. Yeah, I don't think men commit to anything, whether it's marriage or relationship, unless it's something they really want to be in. But I do think women, we rush things way more because we be so in love and ready for that commitment, ready for that marriage, when we need to take a step back and love ourselves firstly, so we know what we want, we know what we're looking for, and stick to that person. Don't be out here in a relationship with somebody you know you don't see yourself with marrying long term. Because I feel like men, it'll take them a long time to figure it out. Or if they know right away, boom, they'll marry you because they for sure about what they want. Whereas though I think women, please don't beat me up for this. That's just my perspective. Women, it's like love at first sight for us. Then when things chill out, we don't like that person. So that's why I think me personally, I'm okay with being single because I love myself. I love my peace. So if you see me in a relationship, please believe that's somebody I want to be with. But I can't speak for them. So I have been a rebound before to someone. And that's why that relationship didn't work, because they really wanted to be with their wife or their ex-wife at the time. It's not saying that I'm a bad person. It just means that, you know, they were rushing into something to either get back at their ex, hurt somebody, using me to hurt that person. And that's why the relationship didn't work. And that silence, like people not talking about like their feelings, that's the inside of them telling themselves they can't take it no more. They need to get out of this relationship. They need to get out of that situation. Like silence to me, I like silence, but silence to me, because I'm such a spiritual person, I could pick up on energy. When somebody becomes silent, when I know that they're talking to a person, I'm like, they're thinking, their mind is thinking here. Like, what's going on? You okay? Let's have this conversation, but not forcing them to talk, but being open to say what's going on with you. So young folks out there, no matter your sexuality, especially the young men, I know it's hard out here. I don't think people should be using people for what they could do for them in this economy. It's what you guys can build for each other. And once you really know yourself and write down your boundaries, then you will know, okay, this person I'm going to date, this person I'm going to date, this person I'm going to give a little bit more chance, and take your time. Just don't rush into no relationship. Take your time and practice discernment when dealing with these people. And as far as the lesbian women, yeah, a lot of us do that. You all too much. And it's more of us in relationships that we don't want to be in than it is with, to me, other sexualities. And also, when you dating on your level, on your tax bracket, you can't be out here telling somebody that they need to be all these things and you're not those yourself. You want somebody that is fit and beautiful, but you letting yourself go. You don't go to the gym. You're not eating healthy. You're in your mid 40s looking old. Some people are dating younger because they're keeping themselves up. So they want someone that can hang with them. And I'm not trying to talk down on nobody, but I've seen people literally not want to date certain people because they're big or they're this and that. And then I look at the person and I'm like, why are you judging that person? Because I understand we have preferences, but you're not all of that. And if you feel like that's the type of woman or man that you want to attract, you need to step your game up. The moral of this topic this week is work on yourself. Work on elevating yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, so that when you out here in the dating scene, you can date people. Don't rush into things, but then you can definitely set a boundary of what you want. I want a woman or a man that's XYZ, because guess what? You're that. You can't be out here preaching about what you want in the dating community, complaining when you're not elevating yourself to that level. So that's going to be my advice before I get into the cards. Be the best version of yourself. Don't lead people on. If you want something, you got to work on you. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be single for as long as you need to be single. Because if you're not, I think you can easily be swayed by people, and then you get stuck in these relationships with people that you probably don't want to be with because you don't want to be alone. You're afraid. Work on you first before you even date. Work on saving your money up, because dating is expensive. Dating isn't cheap. And you can't be out here complaining about men or women want certain type of lifestyles, because if they're able to afford that lifestyle on their own, maybe you're out of their league if you're complaining about certain stuff is too expensive. If you know that person like to travel a lot on their own, you got to level yourself up, save money, and become a person that like to travel. Because a lot of good people be single and traveling. That's another thing. It'd be a lot of great people out here that's single and traveling by themselves. So I'm not saying that you need to change yourself. I'm saying elevate to attract the person that you want. Write that shit down. But also don't be complaining and being picky out here when you know you ain't out here working on yourself and you want somebody that's a millionaire with all this money that look good and fit, and you're not. No, don't you think they want somebody that's like them or similar, that's ambitious and everything too? Now, as I get into the cards, and I'm going to wrap this up about the topic before speaking. That is to me my number one fear. Someone being with me. Remember that movie, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, when she said, look, I've been single. Don't play with my feelings. Y'all be playing with people's feelings out here. Good women and men out here. Leave them alone. All for the sake of a challenge. Some people like to get with people because it's a challenge and it's something new. I just don't agree. I think you should be single and date who you want to. If you know that that person isn't your person, stop holding up people's soulmate. I say that every week, damn near. You go in this relationship with somebody that you don't even see yourself marrying. You just wasting time. When you could be out here dating 4 or 5 people, not sleeping with them, but just dating them, getting to know them. Now you got to commit to something because you got to commit to it. Anywho, these are the cards. And as I said, I'm sticking with the angel deck for November and December month. I don't know what I'm going to do for the new year. We have Akasha is the first card, and we have Aurora, and I do have a third card. But Akasha is basically saying that we are all spiritual teachers. So you are teaching, you're a guide. You have the ability to kind of counsel and help others and awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. So with that being said, if you know that you are a spiritual person here to help and heal people, write that down. What type of woman or man are you trying to attract if you are a spiritual person? I'm going to use this as an example. Don't just be out here getting anybody. If they are not spiritually aligned for you, and you know in the future you're a healer, what does my wife look like? What does my husband look like? If I know I'm here to be a spiritual teacher on this earth, what does my other half look like so that we as a team, as a collective can help each other? I can't be out here dating a drug dealer or something. I'm not knocking it. Listen, my younger days, I've dated some people, but I know what I come here in this lifetime to do, and also based on my birth chart. Why would I date somebody that's not in alignment with that path that I want to go on? So that's another reason why I'm single, because a lot of people are not spiritually on the path that I am on to awaken the collective. I think we have to be in alignment and they have to understand my gifts and what I do. Otherwise, it won't work. Now, I have dated people in the past that didn't align with that, and that's okay because we're all here to learn and we're learning. So number 2 card here is Aurora. Okay, what is Aurora telling us? With Aurora, you know, everyone's on the right path right now. You're flying bright, which may kind of threaten people. Do you have haters? Do you have someone in your circle or people that may be putting you down, telling you don't do that mission or whatever? Don't do that business. That idea is stupid. Don't let that get you down, because your angels, the messages are telling you, trust in yourself. You are on the right path, okay? Don't let that descend you, because others will soon become inspired by your example. They will be inspired by you. And of course, that's how it works, right? That's how it works. When you're out here working hard and hustling and doing what you need to do on a collective, once they see you shining and rising, they too will come along eventually. And then the last one we have here is Celeste. Something about a happy move. I have to see how this plays intuition. So happy move, a new place of employment. I feel like the last piece I said, like once you elevate yourself and align yourself with who you need to be with or be, maybe when you find your person. So it may be like a move that you need to do in employment, but the angels are letting you know that they are setting things up behind the scenes to kind of help you with that. Stay positive in that energy. And here's another story that I want to tell too. Like being from the Midwest, I'm not going to lie, when I moved from a different area to another area, I realized that I started attracting different people. So for those of you guys out there who's looking for a certain type of relationship, maybe that person may not be in your city. Going back to what I said, if that person like to travel and you're not traveling right now, maybe you need to start elevating yourself, saving money and getting into traveling. Maybe you're on the East Coast, that person may be on the West Coast. So maybe the universe is preparing you to move so that you can bring in that alignment of that person that you need to be with. The same thing that goes to the job. Like maybe it's time for you to make more money, because I'm going to be honest, y'all, dating is expensive. In this economy, dating is very expensive. And most people don't want to just be in the house. So this to me sounds like the universe is elevating you, bringing in that money for you, bringing in that big move for you to attract your spouse. Stay positive. Don't let haters try to threaten whatever you are doing out there. Keep doing it, because it's going to be a point where it's going to fly through the roof for you. It's going to take off. And also for those out there who spiritual healers and gifts and gifted people, some of y'all got to stay single because y'all have certain energy that you bring in. When you're a spiritual person, it's best to be single, because spiritual people attract energy. They attract all different type of people because people need healing. So you have to protect your peace and your space. And you can't be out here just picking any type of people as a spiritual person. You have to pick people that's in alignment with you. I'm not going to lie. It took me years, to over 20 something years, to really start realizing, even reading my birth chart alone. Remember how I told y'all to write down what you're looking for? I wrote down 15 years ago, my spouse. And I promise you, every person I've ever dated did not align with what I even wrote down for myself. Not including what I read up on my birth chart and just spiritually knowing about my spouse. So spiritual people, whatever type of, or it don't even have to be that. Whatever you are in alignment with for you, you have to think about the people that you're attracting or the people that you want to be with. Think 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Some of y'all will pick temporary people, and that's why it didn't work, because they were temporary. They wasn't in alignment. Not even based on the person that you wrote down for yourself. Y'all need to start reading your birth chart too. Your birth chart is it tells you a lot. I may start getting into birth chart readings at some point, not now, because it takes a lot of work to keep up with a podcast, interview people. That's more of my speed right now, in alignment and just reading the cards. But there's plenty of free sites out there. Read your birth chart, put in your birth time in there. It will tell you about your career, yourself as a person, who you meant to marry, and you got to ask yourself, is this person I'm dating, these 5 people, are they even in alignment with what the stars had for me when I was born? So y'all got to start really practicing discernment with dating people. But I know some people dealing with stuff, they don't want to be alone. I get it. But I'd rather be alone with myself than having somebody in my space and in my energy that's soaking up my energy and my space, and now I have to pretend. I think a week ago I got that Truth Be Told card that had a mask on it. Something y'all need to be talking about. Maybe someone's in a current relationship right now that's not their soulmate. We are wrapping up the end of the year, okay? This is the end of a number 9 year, and we're also in a Scorpio energy. I hope you guys do the right thing by the new year. You will never get what you want if you're not having that hard conversation with yourself first and with that person. Life is just too short to be out here dealing with certain situations that's not meant to go where we need to go. Okay? Love y'all.
Sacred in the cancer, the arm, saving broken hearts.